Hey everybody, Ace Trinillium here, and unless you've been living under a rock all this time... Wait. You'll know that Nintendo recently revealed 3 new Pokémon that we'll be encountering on Alola's first route. Yungoos, Grubbin, and Pikipek. Seeing these new Pokemon made me super excited to start playing Pokemon Sun and Moon, and it's already got me thinking about what Pokemon are going to be in my early team. But it also got me thinking about early route Pokemon from the previous generations, and which one I always wanted to take all the way to the Pokemon League, and which one stood out for me as the real Route 1 MVPs. So today, I'm counting down my top 5 Route 1 Pokemon. Oh, and just a quick note, when I say Route 1 Pokemon, I'm referring to any Pokemon that can be found on the first route where you can catch Pokemon in each game, which would be Kanto Route 1, Johto Route 29, Hoenn Route 101, Sinnoh Route 201, Unova Route 1, and Kalos Route 2. Because for some reason, Kalos Route 1 is completely pointless. Like, it's so short, and there's no Pokemon. Oh, but who cares? This music is great! Number 5. Wurmple. Wurmple is a unique Pokemon. In fact, Wurmple is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Once it hits level 7, it might evolve into a Silcoon. Or it might just as likely evolve into a Cascoon. There's no real way of telling, and that's pretty cool. Well, unless of course you're breeding for a particular one, and after hours and hours of breeding, hatching, and IV checking, you finally bred that perfect Wurmple, and you're so close to that perfect Beautifly. And all you need is for it to evolve into a Silcoon, and it hits level 7 and evolves into a Cascoon. Well, back to the drawing board. But don't worry kids, because Beautifly is trash. You're way better off with the Dustox. It was a joke, I'm trying to make the kid feel better. This unique characteristic makes Wurmple such a fun Pokemon, and it's adorable too. You know, for a bug. Number 4. Pidgey. I very nearly chose Starly for this position because Gen 4 makes everything better, just look at Garchomp, but unfortunately Starly doesn't become an asset to your team until it reaches its final stage of evolution, Staraptor, and that's not going to help you in the early game, whereas Pidgey is a very easy to use basic bird Pokemon, with all round decent stats, just enough to help it survive a few hits while still dishing out decent damage. Pidgey obviously also wins the Nostalgia Prize, you Gen 1er, but it's mainly on this list because it's such a super reliable Pokemon. You can always count on Pidgey to protect you from everything that comes your way. Except for electric type attacks. And ice type attacks. And rock type attacks.
Oh boy.
Number 3. Poochyena. This may seem like a weird choice since Zigzagoon makes a really handy HM slave, but Poochyena to me is one of the more unique Route 1 Pokemon. After all, having access to a dark type so early in the game can be a real godsend, as long as you keep it away from bugs and don't send it out against Brawly. The thing I love about Poochyena though is that it evolves at level 18, and when it does, all of its stats double, except attack, which still increases by an admirable 61%. It goes from being a cute little pup that can just about clear enemies away, to a 90 base attack monster hyena that can clean house. And since the fighting type gym in Hoenn is only the second gym, once that's out of the way, your Poochyena has nothing to worry about. Well, except for everyone else's bug and fighting Pokemon. Shut up, it's my list. Number 2. Rattata. Now you could say we're getting close to the top percentage here, right? Top percentage memes are still relevant, aren't they? They're not outdated at all, are they? Do you like Mudkips? LOL! Yeah, Rattata's definitely one of the more memorable Pokemon on the first routes in Kanto and Johto, and it's easy to see why. It lulls you into a false sense of security with its cute and simple design, but then blows you away by being the fastest early route Pokemon in the world. On top of that, this little critter gets access to Bite and Hyper Fang really early, which given their speed allows for a great chance of making opponents flinch, giving Rattata more time to gnaw their brains out. Number 1. Scatterbug.
Wait, Liam, have you been smoking Torkoal fumes again? Scatterbug? Really?
Hear me out. While Scatterbug alone isn't the greatest Pokemon there is, it has heaps of potential. Like most early route bug-type Pokemon, by level 10 it's fully evolved. That is, fully evolved into a 90 base special attack monster Butterfly with an 89 base speed stat. This thing isn't just a valuable asset, this is a killing machine. And you wonder why it's Pokemon number 666. Vivillon has very similar stats to Butterfree, but just beats it by a hair, by having that little bit of extra speed. It does have lower special defense than Butterfree, but its increased HP makes up for that. And let's not forget, this creature is beautiful! And available now in 20 patterns. Collect them all! Pokeball sold separately. Pokeball prices start at $200 Pokédollars. Available at all Pokemon stores. Wild Vivillon are very dangerous and can produce toxic spores. Please use caution when attempting to capture. Pokemon Incorporated are not responsible for loss of limb, life, or appetite resulting from attempts to capture Wild Vivillon. Anyway, long story short, Vivillon is the early game MVP. So grab yourself a Scatterbug and start murdering the competition. Thanks everybody for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which are your favourite early route Pokemon. And be sure to share this video on Twitter, Facebook, or Pokemon Amino. And if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. I upload videos every single day. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.